Welcome to Google Calendar. So an overview to Google Calendar is that you do have your menu of your different calendars that you have available to look at on the left-hand menu. And this is also where you would create a new calendar event. Your calendar view can be changed based on your preferences. I personally like to see a 7-day work week view, but you can change that here. So if you like to see a daily view or a monthly view or even a yearly view, you would just change this. Or if I have a week view, but I don't want to show the weekends, you can check and uncheck your preferences here. You can also navigate to different weeks in your calendar by just using the arrows. If I had a month view going, this would navigate month by month. If I used a daily view, this would navigate day by day. When I'm getting ready to look at my calendars, one thing that you want to notice is that under my calendars, your main work calendar is the calendar that is identified by your name. You can color code your calendar, so I can make my calendar purple if I'd like, and all of my events that are on my calendar would be in purple. I can create multiple calendars so that I can separate items of that. Maybe, for instance, maybe I'll create a new calendar, and I will have this be my in-service calendar. So I don't want this to show on all of my calendars, but I want to be able to turn on and off when I have in-service classes scheduled. So now I have an in-service calendar. If I was to create a new event, what I can do is I can decide which calendar I want it to go on. I'll choose in-service, and I'll just add my event, new class. Just quickly add some dates and times. Actually, I may make this time during the workday. And I'll just say save. And that will save on my calendar. Here it is. But it's not really part of my, it's really part of a separate calendar. So if I don't want to view my in-service classes, I can turn them on or off. Sometimes people like to create new calendars for instance, personal appointments that you don't want visible on your regular work calendar. You can change the permissions so that people can't see them. Or they might be items that you want to share with a colleague, but you only want to share these calendar events with specific colleagues. You might want to create new calendars for that. You can create as many calendars as if you want, and you just turn them off in your view by unchecking or unchecking the boxes. The other thing that you can do here is you can browse calendars of interest. So you could turn on different holidays calendars. You could have, if you have interest in a sporting events, you could choose to have, when are these items going to show up on TV, or what events are they? If I'm a science teacher, I might want to put the phases of the moon on. So these all show up as separate calendars, either under your calendars or under other calendars that you can turn on and off. And you can color code again any of these to make them. Maybe I'll make all of my holidays be gold. And I might do the same, maybe phases of the moon I might make gray. So you can change any of these and turn them on or off. So you can have multiple things going on here. Let's talk about creating an event. If I was to create an event, I'm going to actually click more options. This is like a quick event, but if you click more options, you get a full screen with lots of different options for calendar events. So I'm going to make this my fourth period physics class. Okay, I'm going to put a date on it. I'm going to create a start time and an end time. So maybe this particular class starts at, let's say 8:15, and it goes till 9 a.m. Um, I can add video conferencing to this. If you want to create a Google Meet, you just click this and it will add a video conferencing event directly to your calendar event. You can add a location. So if I can actually put an address on this if I want. And makes it available in Google Maps so that if people are invited to the event, they can actually click the location to get directions as well. You can add notifications. I can add this to multiple calendars if I'd like to, or I can just change it to go onto my main calendar. And I can change how I want it. Do I want to be free during this period where other people can book me for events? Or am I busy and other people would not be able to add me to events? I can also add a description. I can add any file attachments I want, any links that are relevant to this meeting. When I'm inviting guests to join, I can just start typing their name and they will just start showing up in my list from both the organization and from your contact list. And you can add people to and invite them to the events. You can also sign out district rooms here. So this is how you would go ahead about if you wanted to sign out a computer lab or an LGI in the district. You would click on rooms, and the rooms are set up by school. So right now I could say I want to see all rooms, or I want to see only rooms that are available during the time slot that I have set up. So this is a nice time saver. You don't necessarily have to go searching in multiple calendars to find that open spot. I know that these 3 labs are now open during this time period. More rooms will be added to this list as we get closer to the school year. If you're a traveling teacher, you should be able to book rooms from all of the buildings for which you teach at. If I want to book the 1120 computer lab, I would just click on this and the room is now booked. And then when I hit save, I can send a notification to any of the guests that I had in my event, or I can choose not to send a notification. Usually you would send no. You would want them to send this. I'm just saying no, because this is a fake event. Okay, so now that event is part of my calendar. Okay, I also can view down here if I wanted to look at that 1120 computer lab. I can see all the events that were added to the labs as well. Okay, so this is pretty much how you're going to book events. It's also how you're going to book Google Meets and video conferencing events, and also book rooms and schedule rooms in the district. One other thing that's really nice here is if you needed to schedule an event and you needed to schedule with multiple people, like let's say I needed to create an event, a meeting with Laurel. I would click on her name, and in blue, it's going to bring up Laurel's calendar so I can see when she's free. I can add other people as well. Maybe I'll add Tim, and now I can see Tim's in green. These are his events. When are we all free? And so I can keep adding as many people as I want to see when the entire group is free. You can control what other people see on your calendars in your settings. So if I go up to settings, and I'm going to click on settings, you're going to scroll down until you get, where am I going? You actually are going, you're going to scroll down on this side because you have to choose a calendar first. So I'm going to start with my work calendar. And I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to access my permissions so I can make this calendar public to everybody in the entire world. I can make it available just to Fayetteville and Manlius people, and I can decide what they all see. So I can let them see all the event details, or I could see them, they would see just a block that said whether I was free or busy. This is my choice. But as you noticed when I was scheduling, some of the people that I was scheduling with did show all of their events in detail. So you will want to change that based on your preference. You can also change this for each calendar. So for instance, if I created a second calendar, maybe I wanted to create a new calendar just for my personal items, or my family's birthdays or my colleagues' birthdays, you can change your permission settings on any of the calendars and make them available for others to see or not. So what a lot of people might do is create calendars where you want to separate events so that you can see things separately. So if you have, let's say you wanted to keep track of Personal appointments, you might want to create a brand new calendar for your personal appointments like I did. And then when you click on you want to go to the settings for that calendar and make sure that the permissions are the way that you want them. You can also share this calendar with specific people. So if you have your own other family members who you also want to be able to see the appointment schedule, you can add them here. There are a lot of really great shortcut features in Google Calendar. There's more details as you scroll down in the course and look at specific videos for tasks and directions on how to do specific items.